This call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance or training purposes.
This call may be recorded.
Hi! You're muted.
I'm muted. Hi!
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Oh, listening to calls, coaching them up, ready to get into it.
What else do we do?
Right,
do we do
right.
anything else?
Nothing else, right?
What up?
My day-to-day life.
I know. And I love it.
Yeah. Well, we got 4 calls that we can dive into today. I'm just going to pick one at random and we'll go for it.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Well, that's helpful. This is Shelby.
Hey Shelby, my name's David. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing well, thanks for asking. I was calling, I saw a special in Google for $59.95. What all does that cover?
Okay, yes, sir. So that is for the technician to come out to evaluate that situation and provide those options and pricing along with those estimates. And of course, he would then waive that $59.95 for any work that you did approve to have done that same day.
Okay, so basically the 50.
Yeah, I'm going to pause that there. We're 40 seconds into the call. What are you thinking? What have you heard?
Okay, so I actually think she did. I think her response was perfectly reasonable. Like, that's probably what I would have done. The one thing, so just to cover all their bases, I feel like she sounded positive.
Yeah.
She sounded prepared. She's responding to what he says, which I think is, in this case, he brings up the price. So we talk a lot about price shoppers and someone that asks right out the gate, how much is this going to cost, right? This is a little different because he already knows how much it is.
Right.
He says it's this much. What goes into that?
Yeah.
And she immediately jumps into building value. And in doing so, she's acknowledging that, she's hearing what he's saying. I love that. But then she does the painful pause.
Yeah.
Right? It's the painful pause. Like, it's deafening in this call because she just stops, which what she's saying is, now you take leadership.
Right. And I love that she went right into the value too. I think that was perfect. I never think it's too early to build value, guys. If someone is asking, hey, I saw that there's a deal going on, it's this much, what goes into that? Of course. Let me tell you. I got all the information.
Yeah. She did a great job at that. And that was her instinct, and she did it in a really positive way. And so I really, really like that. So it would just be ending with, tell me what's going on.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to hear. Let's keep going and see if we hear that listen principle.
Yeah, she pauses. That would have been the best time, but yeah, hopefully she brings it back.
Yeah, let's go for it.
$9.95 is the trip charge?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay. Can I get someone to come out tomorrow? I'm on the north side of Columbia.
Yeah.
I want to point something out really quick. I want to point out that he felt the need to reiterate what she just said because she didn't give him any direction. So she doesn't say anything. And so he's like, and then he oversimplifies it.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, so that's a trip charge, which as we all know, it's not just gas money. Right? It's so much more than just a trip charge. Now, arguably, some companies do actually have a trip charge just to get out there. So, okay, that's fair. But for the companies that don't actually charge a trip charge, it's really for the diagnostic. We definitely oversimplify it and lose credit with the customer when they ask that clarifying question. So that's how much it is to come out. That's just a trip charge. And we say yes.
That's the power of ending with a question, guys. Making sure that we're in control and that we're leading this phone call, always ending in a question to ensure that we're moving that call forward.
Totally.
Yeah. Let's keep going here. So at this point, he's asked for their availability.
Yeah. So he's totally leading this call.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir. We would definitely be able to have a technician come out. Now, is that located in
Richland.
Okay, yes, sir. We would definitely be able to get that appointment set up for you. That way I can get that appointment set. I'll just have a few questions to ask, and I'll take a moment to tell you about our services. If you still have any questions after that,
Okay.
I'd be happy to answer those for you.
Okay.
All right, yes, sir. And I know you did say that your first name was David, and what would your last name be?
Okay, going into logistics
All right, yes,
here.
sir. And what would the address of this location be that the
I'm going to
technician's
skip just a tad.
Yeah.
All right, yes, sir. And how old would you say that your home is?
2.
All right, yes, sir. And could you tell me a little bit more about what's going on at the home?
There it is.
Wait, yeah, how long was that?
We are 2 minutes into the call.
Every other question she's asked up to this point, how would you describe those questions? 'Cause
Logistics.
they're not. Yeah, they're all logistical. They're all like transactional.
Absolutely. So just a reminder, you guys, those are who enrolled with our program. You should easily be able to hit our first 5 principles in the first 30 seconds to a minute,
Mhm.
ensuring that we're grasping that connection instead of that transaction and keeping control of that call.
Yeah. I just it's this is a good call to listen to because I
Yeah.
feel like she is doing such a good.
Yeah.
It's such a interesting example specifically of the listen principle,
Call flow.
right? Like, and then how the listen principle sets you up for showing care, offering reassurance, because this is a perfectly positive call.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
would
I
agree.
mean?
Yeah.
But it's
absolutely.
missing the depth.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Absolutely. He called in, he asked about the price. We went right into value, which was beautiful.
It's
Beautiful.
positive, right?
I agree with that. Yeah. Listen early so that we can search for that connection, that we can find that middle ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kitchen light in one of the adjacent rooms is not working. The fuse box I went in it's tripped and it won't. You can't make it put in the on position. It no matter what you do, it stays in the off position.
All right, yes, sir. Let's see. All right. And just to confirm that you are the owner of the home, Mr. Long, is this correct?
I'm married to the owner.
Okay. All right, yes, sir. And just to confirm, you would be the person that my technician will.
Okay. That was awesome. You're married to the owner. That's a good one. Okay, guys. So I just wanted to pause here and just express more about that connection. She had a perfect opportunity there to find that common ground and to either build rapport or show care or reassure the customer that we have their back and that we're going to absolutely be able to take care of this issue for them. And instead, we almost made it sound more transactional.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
By going into, are you the homeowner? Instead, I would have loved to hear something along the lines of, that's terrible to hear that you even tried to look at your breaker box yourself and you still can't figure out what's going on. The good news is we're professionals at this and we're going to be able to help you with it.
Mm. Yeah. I can think like, yeah, it could be a fun care. Like what I just thought of was like, man, you're braver than I to take a look at that by yourself. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Good news is we've got guys that do this all the time. Let us help you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That connection over transaction again.
Need to speak to for any approval for work repairs or payments.
Correct.
All right. And that way my dispatcher can give a call as soon as they are ready to send that technician your way. A good primary contact number for that, is that still going to be that number ending in?
Yes.
All right. So just to confirm that light in the kitchen is not working correctly, as it is not working at all, and you did go to the breaker, but that one fuse is still staying tripped. Is this correct?
Correct. And there's an adjacent room that's not working as well.
Okay. All right. Yes, sir. All right. And how high up would you say that those light fixtures are?
All great questions.
They're pretty high, maybe 10 feet on the.
Okay. All
Good point.
right, sir. All right. My next available appointment I do have availability for tomorrow. I do have between 12 and 3 or 3 to 5, whichever time would work for you.
Let's do 12 to 3, please.
Okay.
Did she, forgive me, I don't remember. Did she acknowledge his question of how soon do you guys have availability earlier? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Nothing stood out to me at the time.
Let me go back here.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The kitchen light.
Would be a good email. I know you did say that your first name was Dave. Now, is that located in
Richland.
Okay. Yes, sir. We would definitely be able to get that appointment set up for you. That way I can get that appointment set. I'll just have a few questions.
Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know where it was. I don't want to spend too much time dwelling on it. The only reason I asked that, guys, is because I didn't hear her acknowledge the question. We went into more logistical questions, like, are you the homeowner? And then went into what's going on. She went into asking more questions and then said, here's what I have available. And it almost sounded confusing to me. Like it didn't flow as well as I would have liked to hear.
Right. Like it wasn't natural.
Yeah. It just came out of nowhere instead of okay, so I know you were looking for this day. This is what I have available.
In fact, I agree because I actually thought she had done it already.
Yeah.
And so when she brought it up, I was like, oh, we haven't even done this part yet. I just felt like that. It felt like that was taken care of already.
Yeah. Just threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect example of, yes, the listen principle, but why it's so valuable to follow that call flow, guys. We're prepared. We're positive. We're prepared. We're listening. We're able to find that middle ground to get that connection with reassurance and care. And then we go into okay, you were asking me about availability. What days work best for you? Or so forth. Just going in further than that. But we already went to the value. But yeah, I think that was a good call to listen to. Do you want to keep listening to this one or would you like to start a new one?
Let's do a new one.
Let's do a new one. I agree. Yeah. All right. Call number 2 coming in.
I keep wiping my nose with my middle finger. And like with this bright of nails, you just can't hide it. You can't hide that it's broken.
Not at all.
Like, every time I'm like, oh gosh.
Oh no. Sounds like you got to go get them fixed.
Yup.
Thank you for calling. This is Katie. How can I help you?
Well, this is James, and I live and y'all put in a system for us. Seems like 2 years ago. It's probably a little longer than that. We pay on it every month anyway, and it's not working. The air's not working. We came in and it was warmer in here. Tried to turn it off, turn it back on, but that thing outside's not making a noise. So.
Okay. Just to verify that account, it's going to be that.
Right.
Okay, perfect. It looks like I can get a technician out there for you. Let's see. Tomorrow, late morning.
Can't do it tonight, huh?
No, ma'am. So our
Don't
technicians
get pretty
are
warm.
Yes, ma'am. So our technicians are complete.
Okay. We're a minute into the call now. I would say she was positive when she answered the phone. I didn't have anything negative to say about her positivity. It felt like she was ready to help. But then we didn't ask anything. She told her whole deal. This is what's going on. And I would have loved to hear a little bit of, so this is what I understand is going on. I hate to hear that you're doing with that. It's getting hot. The good news is, again, we work with this stuff all the time. How soon are you looking to have someone out? We went straight to, I can have someone out tomorrow. And that caused an emotional response from the customer to say, no, not tonight. It's hot.
And part of that emotional response definitely seems to be rooted in a lack of understanding. Like the customer does not sound like she feels understood.
Yeah.
She says you didn't, she feels like she has to repeat it. Like you can't come out today. It's getting hot.
Yeah.
Right. And then instead of an acknowledgement, which, I mean, if you're saying this is reason enough to start the conversation. What did yes, ma'am do for that conversation? In my opinion, it didn't do anything. In fact, if it did anything, it wasn't a positive.
Right. I was gonna say it almost sounds confrontational.
Yeah.
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It could be the same as I understand, and I understand can sound confrontational. It
Absolutely.
can sound condescending. It's very easy to misinterpret.
Yeah. Question. If you think she had a more reassuring tone when she said it, do you think that would have made a difference or same thing?
I actually think she had a pretty sweet tone.
Solid tone?
Yeah, and so I'm gonna say no because I didn't see any issue with her tone. She said, "Yes, ma'am," in a almost sweet way. I mean, it could be misinterpreted, but I don't, had she been like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, that's definitely not something I want to be dealing with," right? Like the same tonality but different words. I really do think in this instance it's wording.
Wording.
Because her tone, like you said, it's been good from the beginning. I haven't had an issue with her tone at all.
Right. Yeah. The lack of understanding, I think, is the idea with this call. Making sure that we ask more questions to find out more, find out what the urgency is. Because by the time we got to, well, this is what I have available, you could tell that the customer had an urgency about this, which that we could have discovered a little bit sooner. But let's keep going. We're a minute into the call. I'd love to hear if she does backtrack to that lesson principle.
Completely booked for tonight.
Since we have some breathing problems, so
Oh no.
okay, I guess that will be it then.
Let's see. We do have an $80 dispatch fee to get one of our technicians out there. They do collect payment on site. Would you guys be paying with cash, card, or check?
Card.
Okay. What's a good phone number for us to call whenever we get ready to send a tech over?
Well, we hear the fan and all that, but the thing outside's not doing anything.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I feel for this customer.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. What were your thoughts?
I'm curious. So we told the customer what we have available, but did we get a confirmation? I felt like the customer was ready to go at that point. Okay, well, I guess that's it then.
Mm-hmm.
So that must have been her confirming the appointment.
I really feel like this is such a good example of how tone is not everything. Because I like her tone.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know I've said that already, but yeah, the customer sounds very unsatisfied.
Absolutely. She just mentioned that her husband had breathing problems.
And she goes, "Oh, actually, I thought she was going to offer her something."
I did too.
I was hopeful for just a second because she was like, "Oh, we actually do have
a little bit of plan B, yes.
We can get out to you today, or like an urgency list.
A little plan
B. We actually do have
right.
Dispatch.
So we went right to the dispatch fee for us to get out there and take a look at the issue. Even just some value. I mean, would have made a huge difference in this call. Like I clearly hear that she's not satisfied about not being able to get out there till tomorrow, but even just a little bit of value, like, hey, we're going to send out that certified and trained professional, and he's going to look over that unit and figuring out why it's not kicking on or why it's making that strange noise. And we're going to make sure that you're comfortable in your home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for all of that, it is $85.
Mm-hmm.
And ask for that confirmation again. Can we go ahead and get you booked on the schedule for tomorrow at XYZ?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect opportunity for, like, I think you were getting at urgency list. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect opportunity for a little plan B.
Definitely the best opportunity. Yeah. I think what both of these calls have in common is the tone being positive, but the words not quite matching the tonality or potentially even the intention of the call.
Yeah.
Because the way these CSRs sound, they sound like they have the best intentions.
Right.
If I were to just be judging them off tone and only.
Right.
But the customers aren't as satisfied because it's more than that.
I would agree. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I feel like I would keep reiterating the same point, but that's just what's
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Tone seems to be a theme for today. But we still have 10 minutes, so I want to go ahead and try to get to another call too.
Let's do it.
Let's try this guy.
Hey, this is Samantha.
Hi, Samantha. This is Debbie. I'm returning your call.
Oh, yes. So it looks like, so Tassie called. We had that you had requested to get someone out there today, either like at 8 or after 1.
Yeah, I'm okay now. I'm available because you had sent me a thing that they were coming tomorrow. I would prefer if they came today.
Oh, got it. Well, let me take a look and see.
Well, this is the problem. Did you read the notes on the problem?
So I see that, let's see. Well, I see, the air conditioning is still not going as it should. And then it says she requested to get someone Monday.
So like today, well, let me.
Okay, before she goes into her spiel,
I know,
how are you feeling so far?
I love this because it is such a testament to how the customers need a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
They need more from you. As a CSR, when you listen to this call, I hope that's what you hear and you realize that calling up and assuming you're on the same page is not enough. Right? No.
Yeah.
I was about to make a joke. Never mind. It's not professional. Okay. I have to stop myself. Look at me and my perfect self-control. Okay. It's not enough. It's not enough because she calls in and jumps right into problem-solving mode. She was like, hey, I know you reached out because you wanted us out either today at 8 or after at 1. And the CSR is like, wait a second. Do you even know what's going on?
Right. The customer was like, wait, like, did you read the notes? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, how do we become prepared, you guys? How do we prepare ourselves before we make an outbound call?
Totally. You better be reading up.
Yes, always.
Up.
We should know exactly what the situation is and why they're needing our help before we call them.
Yeah.
That's
and it sounds like she. Oh, sorry.
You're good. Go.
I was just gonna say it's 2 parts. Like it's what you just said. Make sure you're aware of it, and then make sure you communicate that.
Yes.
Like they've got to know the effort you put in, not only so you get credit, but so that they feel valued, so they trust you, and so that you are likable.
Yes, like, trust, and value. Stephen R. Covey.
Right? Like you've got to make that connection. And so even if she just called in and started and been like, Marissa, hey, this is Tatiana calling from PSP Home Services. I'm reaching out because I know you don't currently have any AC in your house. Has anything at all changed since we were out there?
Yes.
Right. She's going to say, no, we're miserable. And then immediately opportunity for care and reassurance. Right.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I would be miserable too.
Yeah.
We can totally help you with this. I'm so glad that we reached out. Now I want to talk scheduling because it's definitely, I know I'm sure that's the top thing on your mind right now is just when can we get somebody out?
Well, that's what she started with.
Yeah. Right. And then we circle it back. Like I know scheduling, I'm sure, is on your mind right now. Now that we've hit those first 5, positive, prepared, listen, care, yes. It's all right. Let's.
Absolutely. I wanted to give about half of a point for the listen principle here because she did start restating why the reason of the call was. And it's because she recognized that she was calling to get on the schedule, right? But just a little bit more of that research of, hey, I see that you have no air here. I could tell that, I would be uncomfortable in my home. I can only imagine how you're feeling at this case.
Totally.
Looking to get this done. And then she could have came in, well, I got a message that you guys were going to be out tomorrow. I'd really prefer today. Can we explore that idea?
Yeah, I totally agree.
More reassurance.
I'm in Florida right now, and I just got a fan brought into my office, and I could not be happier.
Is it warm?
I don't know if you guys can tell, sweating.
No,
but it feels so good. I'm distracted because she's bringing it in. I'm so excited. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah, 45 seconds into the call.
Yeah,
we're almost there. I would say we're almost there. Just a little bit more research would have made this top tier. But let's keep going and see what we have.
It sounds like she knew she'd done the research. It's just telling him.
Yeah, she got uncomfortable a little bit. Yeah. I
think it's the AC, right? She's like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I forgot. She's going into it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to pause, you guys. Or say, yeah, absolutely. Let me just double check that I read all this right.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to slow down and pause if you need to.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Explain it to you, okay? Like today, because there's no sun out, right? And because the sun's not beating, I don't know what the problem is, but on a regular day, right now it's holding its temperature, right? But on the regular days, like after the days that he fixed it, I have it turned on 72 and it never comes below 75. That doesn't make sense to me. If it's fixed, it should go down to the temperature that you have it set on.
Well,
It doesn't matter what
overnight?
temperature.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Oh, like overnight, like once the sun goes down, is it getting down to 72?
Right. It gets down after the sun goes down, but that doesn't make sense. My husband used to own an air conditioning company back in the day. Maybe there's something wrong with the thermostat. So I was telling Mark that when.
Side note, it's never a good thing when a customer tells you that they're SO owned.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's them saying, don't BS me.
Yeah.
Don't
Never
BS
good
me.
news.
Been
All right,
there.
let's see what she has.
He was out here, and I have a brand new thermostat here, but he said he didn't think it was thermostat. I mean, he checked everything. He said everything's fine, but it doesn't make sense that it can't hold the temperature. I mean, if you get your air conditioner fixed, it should work, right? At the temperature you put it at. Am I wrong? I mean, my husband's telling me that there's definitely something's not right because it should hold at 72 when I put it on 72. I mean, every other air conditioner I've ever owned or anywhere I've ever lived in, I lived in Florida. If I put my air on 68 and it's 90 out, it's still going to be 68 in my house. I mean, everybody wants to tell me the story that if it's hot outside, it's not going to work. That doesn't make sense to me.
Right. Well, and I've
Is
been
that true? Do you know if that's true?
I don't know. I'm in Kansas, you guys, and if any of you are from Kansas or know about Kansas, is it gets hot and it gets humid, but I think it depends on the insulation of your home whether your AC is going to actually stay down that low. Because like I can have it set at 78 and it can be 102 outside and my AC may still be at like 76.
Yeah, that's a good point. I did talk to a CSR once that was telling me that it couldn't go lower than like 20 degrees below what it was outside. It's like if it's 100, it can't make your house cooler than 80. Like it literally cannot. And I didn't believe it because I'm like, I feel like my house is cooler than 80 when it's
100,
110, 105 because we get up there in Utah. And so I was skeptical because I do feel like we keep it closer to like 75, 60. And I had never heard that from anyone else. Someone else said something that was similar at one point. So if you guys know, put it in the chat because
absolutely.
Well,
Good question.
I'll
definitely ask.
Learning, but
I'm gonna have to ask some of my CSRs. I'm curious.
Yeah, the way I see this, I feel like I'm on the. I would be feeling how the customer was feeling.
Play a game of MythBusters with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would agree. I can see why the customer is getting a bit defensive. Let's keep listening here.
For over 10 years, and I will say,
go back.
Wants to tell me the story that if it's hot outside, it's not going to work. That doesn't make sense to me.
Right. Well, and I've been in the industry for over 10 years. And I will say, just from experience, I mean, even here at the office. So in North Carolina, we don't get more than really like 2 weeks a year that's over 95 degrees outside. So our systems aren't made to keep up with temperatures that are that high because then they would be oversized for your home and you don't want to.
Okay, but the other day it wasn't that hot, the day that I'm talking about. It was only in the high, it was only yesterday. It was only what, in the mid 80s yesterday. It wasn't even 90 yesterday.
And it still
And my air conditioner would not stay, it would not come down yesterday.
Well, yeah,
It didn't come down until late last night.
And I'll be more than happy to have a technician come out this afternoon and just, I may have someone other than Mark come out just to get a second.
Yeah, I don't want Mark. I want somebody different. I want somebody else's opinion.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. I'll get them out. And then.
I mean, it's warranted and it was expensive. $2,200 for me is expensive anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I know that it's under warranty and I just want to make sure that it is fixed correctly because I don't want I don't want to end up with the problem down the road and then it's past the time that it needs to be looked at.
Absolutely. Okay, so we have a minute and 45 seconds left of this call. I want to finish it so bad, but we're running out of time. Overall, Tatiana, what I'm thinking is this customer needs more reassurance. Reassurance is key for sure. And it almost sounds like we're going back and forth with her. Well, I've been in the industry for 10 years and this is what I've noticed. It's not a bad thing that you have experience. Okay. I'm not saying that, but at the same time, let's not use that as a defense mechanism.
Totally sounded like a defense. It did not sound like an explanation. It sounded like defensiveness.
Right.
Although I think that she did it just about as kindly as you could do it.
Absolutely. I would agree.
Which proves as well that even though you're nice and you have good intentions, doesn't mean it's going to sound like a logical explanation to someone who's reacting using emotion and not logic.
Yeah, that emotional reaction. Absolutely. I also wanted to note that the customer immediately was like, oh, I don't want them out. I want someone else out. And she did come back with reassurance at that point.
Yeah, I like that too.
Absolutely.
I like that.
I can get somebody else out. That is not an issue at all. We can do that. We want to make sure that you're taken care of. But ultimately, I think this call, I loved her tone. I agree that she could have said that in the nicest way possible. Just needed a bit more reassurance.
Agreed. And empathy. I think there was very little empathy in this call too.
Yeah, I would agree. I hate to hear that you're going through that. And I hate to hear that it's not getting as low as you want it to.
Yeah, I would be miserable too. I mean, I've had my house at that temperature, even here in the office, right? Like use the same thing, but use it to validate instead of invalidate.
Yes.
She had just been like, oh my gosh, we have that same issue sometimes here in the office and it is absolutely miserable. I'd be wanting some answers too.
Oh, that is a perfect example. I do love that.
Just like a quick, the same example, just a different, just use it to connect with your customer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the theme was today, guys, is our customers are emotionally driven.
Yeah.
Show more empathy, show more care, show more reassurance. It's going to go a long ways in our phone call. If
your
we
words
find
matter.
that middle ground to connect rather than searching for that transaction.
Amen.
But we are out of time today. So I appreciate you all who are able to join today. We will be back again next Friday, every Friday at noon Central Standard Time. So adjust it to your time zone. But we will be back next Friday with some more calls and we'll see you all next time.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.